Recording is on.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let Me Just Say podcast. I am your host Ray. With me as always, we got Shining Wolf
How y'all doing today?
and we got D Wolf.
Yo, what's good?
Gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm full.
Doing pretty good. He said full. I'm trying to get where you at.
I'm just
All
praying the ice
right.
doesn't kick
Without
in.
further ado, let's go get to these topics. Obviously, we got to talk about this. The whole thing about the Oscars and Will Smith slapping Chris Rock and everything that has happened around that area. So, um, I'm gonna come to y'all first. Y'all can give you. I know we've been talking before this, but actually, I want to give y'all opinion about the whole situation. What do y'all think?
I think that whole situation could have been handled in a better way. There's several ways I feel like this you can handle someone disrespecting you verbally or stand-up comedian saying something that you don't like. There's several ways to handle that other than going up on stage and slapping them. That's kind of like an extreme thing to do.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. Personally, no, not personally. I know that this is all theater, but I'm going to talk about it in terms as if it was real. When it comes to this, like, okay,
You think it's fake?
me, but I'm not going to talk about it in that sense. Okay, we got to look at who's here, right? We got Chris Rock, professional comedian. These two have worked. I'm sure I've seen like a couple things where they've worked together before. Another thing is he didn't write that joke, right? And
That's
me
suspicious right there.
personally, I don't let words mess me up at all. Like the only way, and knowing those two, I'm surprised Will didn't just clap back. Not literally. That's what I would expect. Because if anybody made fun of me and my lady, we're clapping back the same way you throw it at us. Now, if those words turn into threats, then you're gonna see some physical action. Because I don't know where you're gonna go after that. But and what was funny about it is she herself admitted that she embraced it. She said, "Hold on, let me see."
She said she owned it.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna get the exact words because somebody had asked about it on Facebook, and I had quoted it because she did a little TikTok thing talking about it when she first found out she had to deal when she revealed she had to deal with the alopecia. Let's see if I find it. What did she say? Well, she said she doesn't care what anyone has to say about it. She's like, she basically embraced it. It's on her TikTok anyway. I don't know why I can't find it now, but it's on her TikTok. So I'm like, and this was like either it was 2 months or 2 weeks before the Oscars. She said this, and yet she had the look that she gave. And the thing is, Will was laughing.
Yeah, he was.
And this wasn't laughter bleeding in from the last joke Chris made. He laughed loud after that when he said it.
Yeah, that's all.
And another thing I was thinking about was the joke itself. And he said, I remember what Chris said. He's like, "Come on, that was nice." Because you keep in mind what that movie was about. G.I. Jane. If I was to tell that joke to any woman, they take it as a fucking compliment. Because that movie, if you know what that movie's about, a woman that was in the dumps and now she had to join the Marines and went up the ranks and shit. Like, you know what the movie's about, right? Female empowerment and all that shit. That's why after the joke, he said, "Come on, that was nice." Because he knew that saying that joke is at the same time going to make people laugh and at the same time a compliment to her. That's why I was like, when he got slapped, he was shocked because he was like, that was a G.I. Jane joke. I didn't stay there and talk about disease and shit, or I didn't, he didn't talk about chemotherapy or any shit like that. He just straight up, this is the Oscars. I think Demi Moore had won the Oscar or something like that, or was nominated. So all throw all that in. That's a fucking compliment. So that's what I found strange. That's what made me think this was bullshit. Now I don't know if Chris was in on it or not, but huh?
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, go for it.
There's this comedian woman like on the interviews after the theater, and they asked her about it. She's a black comedian, female comedian. She made a comment said that the G.I. Jane joke when she was going to school was meant to demean women in school and call them masculine. And she tried to she made a spin on it in that direction. But I'm like, this is like 2022 though. This is in 1970 or whenever you went to school. Like being more gender neutral is like a positive thing nowadays to some people.
Yeah, especially looking at her daughter.
Right.
Both their kids.
So. Yeah, both the kids. So yeah, so it's like that's not really that's not necessarily an insult anymore. Matter of fact, one will argue that they're trying to get more characters in movies and games and film that fit that type of description. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I found a quote. It says, "I don't give two craps what people feel about this bald head of mine because guess what? I love it." So I'm like, why'd you give that look? Like, I'm wondering
she probably was annoyed.
I don't
Chris.
Think about Chris Rock. That's what I said.
I'm like,
Father done stepped in. What's going on, Father? How you?
I'm having a bad day.
Bad days.
It's one of those days.
We here. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm like, Chris, come on. And he didn't write it. That's the other thing. The Oscars, these things are pre-screened and shit. And then what was weird about it is like when you think about these celebrities and actors that like to talk about, complain about toxic masculinity and this, that, and the other. And I noticed the same people who used to cheer on the celebrities for saying this shit is like cheering on Will. And I'm like, what happened then?
But these people don't keep the same energy. That's like an obvious thing.
These are pretenders for pay. I'm like, that's why I don't take these people. I say this all the time. I don't take none of these actors or celebrities at face value. I don't trust anything they say. The only reason I watch you is for the entertainment. That's what you get my money.
But it's not just the actors, though. It's not just the actors. If you go on Facebook or Twitter, these same, gender people, social justice type of people, they say toxic masculinity. You shouldn't. There's no reason to hit this person. There's no reason to hit that person. You don't solve your problems with violence. Now, because it's self-serving to them, and especially the black women, they're excited about this because it makes them feel protected.
Yeah.
Now they changing their tune. All this is self-serving. The morals change when it suits you. Morals change when it suits you.
You want to know?
That's how it's been all throughout history. Morals change when. What's up?
You want to know what it really is? Cause it's the same women that look at people like what's her name, Gabby Douglas. Or like a what's that woman's name? Ketanji, that
Ketanji
judge.
Brown?
It's the same women that like they have low self-esteem. So whenever they see this type of shit, they put themselves, they put themselves in those type of shoes, and because like they deal with shit, in their regular lives. Like it's like role play to them. You know what I mean? So them seeing Will smack a man for disrespecting Jada is how they want to be like treated. You know what I'm saying? Like I want a man to do that for me, but they don't understand that because you have low self-esteem, nobody's gonna like fuck with you like that, because every time I'm near you, it's always a fucking pity party. It's always this and that, this and that, this and that. But I mean, for me, like I thought the shit was funny. I laughed.
I did too. I
thought that shit was funny. And the reason why I thought it was funny is because that's some nigga shit.
Yeah, it was. That was a
talking
nigga.
about your wife is some nigga shit.
Well, smacking a stand-up comedian at that, though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Because, stand-up comedians have always got a pass. A fucking stand-up comedian, the fucking court gesture would make jokes on the king. And everybody laughed and it was like, oh, you're so funny. Ain't nobody like really get bent out of shape like that.
Last time we saw this was a Nutty Professor.
Oh no!
You know what? I brought that up. I brought that up as a joke, and my sister didn't get it. And I was like, "Y'all watch the Nutty Professor?" I said, "You know, she has." I said, "You know, Jenna has a history doing this. Remember Reggie Warrington?" And then no one.
You tripping on Reggie?
You picking on Reggie? I was like, well, Jada could make anybody beat up anybody. That was, but no one got it.
But you see what Eddie Murphy did though, and or what was his name?
Put his ass in the piano.
No, he got Reggie to attack him, and then he counterattacks.
Yeah.
You know that.
That's how you do it.
You know what I just remembered, because I was thinking of, okay, this is Will Smith. Why didn't he say something back? And I remember now when I was in film school, I this is where I learned he wasn't really funny. Like he's not funny. I learned this because his personal joke writer, his name's Mike Socio. He came to our school to do a presentation because this was during the time they were shooting Men in Black 3 in Manhattan. So Will Smith's writer just came to the school and gave us a little talk, just to get us in, because he's a writer. So, and that's what I was in film school for. So yeah, and he's his personal joke writer. So ever since Fresh Prince, Will Smith hired him since then, and every movie since that time, any joke you hear Will Smith say on screen, anything that he says that made you laugh was actually Mike that wrote it. So because I was like, why didn't he say something, yo? He could that could have been funny. It could have been even more entertaining if they just went back and forth, because sometimes it happens. Like during the award show, somebody says something, you hear Will back echoing and say something smart and shit. Or even after the show, after interview, what's those shows? Those Hollywood type shows when they do those interviews on the red carpet, shit, afterwards they say, "Hey, so what about what he said about Jada?" Well, he would have said, I'm sure they would have had time to say something back and make a joke and make a big thing that would ended up on TMZ, So it was surprising to see that go down, But now I just remembered, hold up, this dude ain't even that funny. He needs some little white guy to write for him for every movie.
Yeah. That's why you don't see him do stand up. You notice that, right? He don't be doing stand up like that.
His talent is in his hip hop and acting.
Mm-hmm.
He tried. It was actually, I don't know if it's on Facebook or something, but it's something about him trying stand up comedy. I don't know if it went well or not, but he was trying, and he had Dave Chappelle give him pointers and all that, a bunch of comedians give him pointers and shit. He's tried doing that. It's funny because people kept calling him a comedian, and I was like,
comedian on skits, TV maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. I would use I like Will Smith, but I would use the term comedian loosely.
Very loosely, yeah.
Very loosely. I would say rapper, actor, but comedian. I know he's been in a bunch of comedies, but like I said,
he has funny energy.
Ashton Kutcher is funny to me, but I wouldn't call him a comedian either.
Mm-hmm.
So
just comedic actor, because that's the only time.
Yeah, I would say
kind of funny. Men in Black. He's kind of funny on Men in Black, but he's not he's not stand up worthy or nothing like that. And his funny is for movies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, someone's making that stuff up. It's not like he's improvising or nothing like that.
Also, D Wolf, I've done. I'm getting this right now. I guess he was at his show in Boston. Chris Rock said he's still processing what happened, and that he wrote, according to an audience member, but that he had written a whole show full of jokes for that Wednesday evening.
Mm-hmm.
For Wednesday evening, or something like that.
So even if he did write it, it's still past the board. So that's another thing. I'm like, so nobody. If this was anyone else,
okay,
they would have jumped up and they would have been like, "Oh, you can't do that. What's going on?" And they would have been like, "Hey, Chris, you all right?" I'm like, nobody jumped up or said anything, because I'm like, if I was running the academy, I saw that something would have happened. I would have been like, "Yo, get him out of that. Get him up. We don't do that here." Because this is live on TV. Families sit down and watch this if the kids are up. And you just drop pure F-bombs and shit. And I'm like, nobody said anything. No, none of the higher ups said shit. Like, yo, I'm like anyone else, son, they would have been like, oh my god.
I felt sorry for Chris Rock and for like a multitude of things because I wouldn't want to be in his position. Now, whether or not that, because I heard a lot of black men said that couldn't have been me. So, in my opinion, it's just like
y'all hear what Cedric said? Cedric Entertainer said.
What I think he wanted to. He said what?
Cedric Entertainer was on stage doing a comedy bit, and he said, "Now, if I make fun of any of y'all wives, don't come up here trying to hit me, because I'll hit you back."
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. I was thinking about that because when he was up, he was. Oh fuck, I forgot the words he was saying, but Chris was about to say something. Because he's like, oh, I would have, or I'm gonna something like that. He was gonna say, and you can see his processing because this dude's from Brooklyn. He wanted to do something, you know. He wanted to say, he was like, look where I am. I think he realized where he is. He knows what will happen. The camera's on him. He's the host. And think about it. This is an honor to fucking host this thing, yo. You're following Billy Crystal and all them, so you're like, you want to keep this job because remember. Kevin Hart got in trouble for a 10-year-old tweet, and he didn't get to stand on stage. So if he went off on Will, and Will is beloved compared to him, he probably would have lost that job. So I think he was there processing his future real quick and said, you know what? Because I'm like, you noticed he was staggering a bit. He couldn't say what I don't think it was just shock. It was anger that he couldn't do anything about it. That's what he's processing. Because he has to deal with the embarrassment of the slap without being able to do anything about it.
Did y'all see him off stage though? Did y'all see him off stage? When he was off stage, he was sitting there just looking, just staring into space.
He was
just sitting there staring into space. They have footage of that. You could probably find it on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it. Also, and I would say this: when he slapped him, I don't know if anybody saw it. He put his hand up and it looked like he was about to at least catch him back, but he caught himself. So, so I noticed that I said he was going to do something.
That's why he put his hands behind his back. I bet.
He's probably gripping that envelope hard, son. He was like,
after he slapped him, I think Chris Rock really he took that well. I don't care what anybody say. He took that well.
Yeah, like people who want to be all machismo and shit and serve their agendas, whatever they may be like, oh, Chris Rock, he just was rocked. Chris Rock was rocked. I was like, Chris Rock got slapped and he kept on talking immediately right after he got slapped. Will really didn't even really hit him that hard. I don't think he really meant to. I don't even know Will was even really thinking of. He was running on automatic for real.
Well, no, but you got to remember, Chris Rock is from Brooklyn. Like, he's a nigga.
Yeah.
Of course he's gonna take that shit. Like, yeah. All right.
He kept on talking though too. He was like, God damn.
Wow. I know he's playing videos in his head of the ways he would have ended that shit.
Yo, Chris Rock got the last laugh. He got the last laugh in that situation. And it's funny because right after that fucking situation, Will Smith won the Oscar for Best Actor.
And then, and you heard how he tried to fucking justify it. He started crying even more and be like, you know, do anything for our family. You know, like, come on, because you know what you just fucking did. You're trying to get sympathy points and give yourself an excuse for rocking rock. Fuck out of here, yo. And then they overshadowed
Samuel Jackson winning an award. Yeah.
His first one and fucking
and Questlove.
Did y'all hear what the comedy community has to say about this though? The comedy community. Yeah, they all against Will, like Steve Harvey, Jim Carrey, and people trying to people on Twitter and Facebook and shit trying to drag Jim Carrey. I'm like, hey, Jim Carrey don't care about what the fuck y'all saying. Y'all a bunch of clowns, really.
I don't know why they're dragging Jim Carrey because he's
an actual stand-up. He has a right to talk about it. One of his brothers got slapped, son. Come on.
And this is what I was saying. Like this whole slap, and I told people it's like whatever path you walk in life, it's going to influence the way you think about that slap. If from a comedian standpoint, you thinking it's just jokes, it's comedy, that's his job. if you are a husband with a wife that you want to protect, you're like, oh, Will Smith did what he was supposed to do. I'd have done the same thing if anybody was talking about my wife. If you are, and I've seen this in the Black Manosphere, the Red Pill. Will was a beta. I've heard Will was a beta. I heard, like Father said, the black woman's like, and Tiffany Haddish. That's who the one that was saying this. Oh, I wish I was someone to do that the same way. I've heard everything, and
if you're a black woman on the whole protection thing, then you definitely gonna be for this.
Yeah, and then what was another one? If like I've heard even, and I'm not bashing black women, but this also y'all got to stop putting yourself in other people's shoes.
Thank you.
This man done a documentary on good hair, and he was talking about black women. So he always talk about black women and all that. So I said,
they were trying to demonize the old good hair documentary and shit. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what's wrong with good hair? They
did the same shit with Sha'Carri Richardson when she started coming out and winning her shit. He got all these little girls on fucking social media sitting there talking about, oh my god, yes, and then as soon as she got caught for the weed shit, then all of a sudden it's crickets.
Like, stop commenting on black women's hair. You are a part of the community. Other people, the other half of the community, is going to comment on you because you are relevant within the community. You cannot be relevant and have no one comment on you, period.
And I'm like, but my thing
if you got a fucked up fade, another motherfucker in the community, especially the black community, is going to comment on it.
No, but my thing is, like, it's okay to take inspiration from people. That's not really the problem. But when you deliberately, put yourself in that position because you don't have that type of reinforcement within your own community, within your own environment. Like when shit happens, because people aren't perfect, they're gonna fucking disappoint you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can't just go around just like putting yourself in that position every single time, and then getting upset when the people that you idolize don't show up for you. Like, of course they're not gonna show up for you. They're their own person,
right? They don't know you.
They fuck up.
One.
Yeah, they make mistakes as they should. They're human.
Thank you.
You should really expect it for real.
Yeah.
If they don't meet your heroes, I'm like, no. I mean, my heroes have flaws. I accept it. Like I like Will Smith a lot, and I'm not even really mad at Will Smith.
I'm not either. As a matter of fact, I'm so confused why people were so mad at him. It's like, bro,
I'm not mad at him. I do think that should not be condoned. Like in like the whole stand up and roasting type of community type of thing. I don't think that shit should be condoned. It should not be okay. Like there was a chick on my Facebook page that told me if someone offends me, I have the right to respond accordingly. I was like, if someone says something that I don't like, I feel like I do not have the right to just get up and slap them or hit them or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Put them in a Fort Nelson or some shit, I guess. I don't know.
Look, and I'm gonna say this: if Mike Tyson, and this recently happened, could get a motherfucker to hug him, and he has a gun on him, and Mike Tyson could have clearly knocked that motherfucker out. But Father, would you like to know some of the reasons why people was mad at Will, other than the beta thing?
Yeah, you can go ahead so I can, debunk all that shit. But go ahead.
One was the beta thing. Like I said, he looked like a whole beta male up there because he can't control his emotions or actions. There was one where it's just like it makes Jada look like the puppet master. I heard that one. It makes Jada Pinkett look like the puppet master. Is the first because y'all familiar with Will Packer, right? Y'all know who Will Packer is, right?
Not really. Who's that?
Basically anything like had to do with like black people getting on TV or like putting people in the positions. Will Packer's that guy for black people. So this Oscars was produced by black people, was Will Packer. And they brought it back to Will and them being boycotting the Oscars so white thing, and now that we have a black person producing this, we got the representation that y'all wanted. Will done fucked it up.
I should have never let you niggers in. Should have never let you niggers in. This is what happens.
Yeah.
That's what they saying pretty much.
Basically, this is why the Oscars are so white.
That's why they let it roll.
They should have never gave y'all niggas money.
Well,
what am I gonna do about my Oscar awards?
God damn it!
No, I ain't mad at it because I don't even believe it was real. So this is just entertainment. I'm in it for the memes mostly.
Well, the memes are fucking hilarious.
Yep. I ain't never seen so many good quality memes come out in such a fast span.
Yo,
it wasn't even a day. Y'all talking about that shit with Will Smith. It wasn't even a full 24 hours, and like shit was on fire.
Bro, the meme started like 3 minutes after the shit happened, yo.
Good quality.
One guy had a whole YouTube skit like done and posted in a matter of like an hour and a half after like.
But Raymond, I do believe what he did was kind of on some beta. What they described as beta, I do think that was on some beta type shit though.
Why do you think so?
Because that was like just hyper. It was hyper emotional. He was running off of emotion on that right there. All he did, he was not tactful, barely tactful. The only thing he did that was tactful is that he knew that Chris would not respond because of where he's at. I think he knew he would not respond because of where he's at. So, and it was just like, it was not thought through. It was just all emotion based off of
the entanglement.
All that shit. Not just this entanglement, just him trying to appease. I think it was him trying to appease Jada, trying extra hard to appease Jada because he has that thing.
Can I add your point with that? Will was laughing at first. Will was fucking laughing at first.
Will was laughing at first, exactly. Yeah, he's trying to appease Jada, even though he know that wasn't the right thing to do, and it wasn't even his natural response. Because his natural response was, "Okay, I can see where he's coming from with that joke. That joke makes sense, haha." You know.
All right, so let me ask
you. Hold on.
And again, remember, I said she said she embraced it.
Go
she
ahead,
was good. She don't care what no one says.
Go ahead.
And I'm sure Will knew she said that.
Go ahead, Father.
I was just saying, like, I kind of disagree with you, Clarence, and the reason why I'm disagreeing is because I don't think the way he reacted was beta male because of the reason why he reacted. If you're hypersensitive about your wife, I don't think that makes you a beta male because that's your wife. You know what I mean when I say that? Mm-hmm. Like, if you have somebody that you like, you know, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, like these niggas have vows together. So if anyone has the right to be hypersensitive, it should be about your wife. I don't feel like that makes you a beta male.
But I have a question for you. I feel like what makes you there's a better term for this I'm trying to think of. The simp term. The simp term is validating a woman who doesn't return the favor to you.
Early.
I don't think that Jada feels the same way about Will that Will feels about Jada.
You can't. I don't think you can say that.
I don't think that it is based off of things that they said.
No, I don't. But at the same time, we are all at the outside looking in. Whatever they got going on in their marriage is between them.
No, it's
we're
between everyone.
Literally the outside looking in.
Can I say one thing real quick? Can I say this?
Hold on. D will first, then Dion.
No, I was just jumping in. I was saying, they told everyone what their life was. Like I'm just saying, like, yo, words, yo, I'm telling you, I can't do it. I can't, especially from a comedian, I can't do it, yo. If it's some stranger and like if this person's harassing us, someone talk shit, maybe. But and especially with my lady, son, we're saying some shit back that will make them shut the fuck up. Because I can't imagine letting words. That's why these if you go to like I can't find a definition for it, but Like these things are spells, yo. This is wizardry. Like you can't let words manipulate your action, yo. You just fell for the spell if you let words fuck you up. So if it's words, I'm gonna use the same words against you, better words, yo. After that's done, I'm telling you, it has to turn into a threat. You have to say words that say, I am going to kill you, or I'm going to hurt your wife, or this, that, and the other. It doesn't have to be death. Just say something that tells me you're going to cause harm. Then you're going to feel it. But if it ain't that, it's either we just walk away or you're going to hear it too. That's how I am, son. I'm like, I can't imagine
different folks, different
words
strokes.
do this, yo, because look what happened, yo. Look at this shit. Now we have all this fuckery going down because a comedian did his job and he was tame with the joke compared to what he could have said. We know, Chris, we know him. He could have went far. He could have, but out of respect, knowing what's going down, like when he said that, the first thing I thought of was all her roles. I'm like, yeah, usually she's a strong woman, so yeah, the joke fits. Yeah, and she's bald. That's the funny part. Now the compliment part, usually her role, she's especially these days, she's usually the top woman. Like even in the Matrix, she hardly lift a finger, and I still felt her strength. I started thinking about the times I played a video game and all that, because I was like, that's what I got from it. So when he got up, it was a shock to me, you know. So yeah, that's how I see it. But yeah, Dion.
My bad. Also, and I'm gonna let Dion go. I will say this: I don't think he knew she had alopecia, because I think everybody bringing that up.
He said that, right? He didn't know.
Yeah, from what I've seen, he said that he don't know. So a lot of people have been bringing that up. So now, if he said that she didn't know, the people stopped bringing alopecia up. But go ahead, Dion.
How the rest of the world knew and Chris Rock didn't. But anyway,
hold on, Dion. I'm sorry. There's a video of Floyd Mayweather walking to a barbershop, and there's this old woman. She didn't know who the fuck he was, even though everybody knew who the fuck he was. Just because you put things out publicly does not mean everybody knows. Not everybody is familiar with it. I know a lot of people.
Not everybody's on your social media either.
Yeah, I know a lot. There's a lot of people that even when they was talking about this, they went, "Oh, I didn't know she had alopecia."
I didn't even know.
But thank you, D-Wolf. I sort of knew, but even to me, I see her with short hair all the time. So the first thing that comes to my mind is that's her hairstyle. And
I thought she was being edgy for real.
But to me, she's always wore short hair. Matter of fact, in Set It Off, she cut her hair off. She was bald then. So to me, I've always seen her hair short, except for like Nutty Professor with that shitty ass wig. Not her fault. That was the movie. But I've always seen her hair short. So the first thing when I'm thinking of her with the baldy and the short hair, I just thought it was a style. You know, not just
And she said she embraced it, and she said she don't care what people think.
Yeah, she embraced it. Go ahead, Dion.
But see, I was gonna say going back to Chris Rock, like if you've watched this man, like for those of us who have known him since the fucking 90s, he could, like Will said, this worse. He's done and said a lot fucking worse. This the same man that was bragging about getting his dick sucked when 9/11 happened.
Yo.
Why is that always like, what is him saying worse shit? I don't understand that logic.
Because he's a comedian and it could have been worse.
Right.
He said, come on. And he even said it. He said, come on, that was nice, because he knew what he was doing when he laid that joke down, because he knew he didn't want to throw disrespect, and he knew he had to do his job and make people laugh. And he knew that shit. That was a fucking compliment.
I'm sorry. I don't even think, to me, and this is my views, honestly, I'm speaking for myself here. I don't think that joke was even disrespectful. So my whole thing, when a lot of people say, even when Tiffany Haddish talking about, they was calling people homosexuals or lesbians, I was like,
that was Tiffany Haddish. That's the one I was talking about. Was talking about the G.I. Jane joke was meant to demean women by calling them masculine.
I said, one, you're reaching, because I never heard no one said that because you had a bald head, you're masculine. Because there's a lot of people that have had short hair or like sort of bald headed, and no one ever called. I don't remember people ever calling Sinead O'Connor masculine. The R&B group Janae masculine. Grace Jones, yes, but that's because she got a strong ass jawline. but
damn.
She do.
Like I'm thinking of what's her name from Black Panther. I'm like,
yeah, the Dora Milaje.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with her. What you mean? So
I think she rocked the fuck out. I think everybody that was in the Dora Milaje looked good with the bald head.
Yeah, but that's not the beauty of standard. So of course they're gonna make fun of it.
Because
in America, the beauty of standard is you know what the beauty of standard is. I don't have to.
Because a lot of prestigious dudes probably would not date a chick when they got a bald head.
I don't know.
Not because they want to show them, huh?
In today's era?
Yeah, because they want to show them off.
I disagree.
They want to show them off to their colleagues. They want to show them off to colleagues mostly.
I disagree. And the only reason I disagree because, and I don't want to bring colorism in there. I've done seen short haircuts where like they had the little fade and like really short. And those women look bad. Those some beautiful looking women. Amber Rose.
Short haircut? Yeah.
Short haircut. Amber Rose always rocks her hair short or bald.
She look bald because you can see through that blonde hair sometimes.
Yeah, she look bald.
Right. You can't tell what's her hair and what's her fucking skin. So
you will see rappers with Amber Rose.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like what's up? Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, them type of motherfuckers. You ain't gonna see them with her.
I mean, yeah, they white, but even then, like
you want to see them with Amber Rose for other
hold on.
Her hair has nothing to do with that.
Even then,
it's more for the tattoos and the class and all the other stuff.
But even then, I don't know because Amber Rose looks so good bald. When I see her with hair, she looks normal. Like I'd rather her bald than what's the?
It's what you're used to seeing. That's what that is.
It's what you're used to, yeah.
Seeing from her.
Yeah, I've seen her in long hair. I've seen her with weaves and all that stuff.
But you see her bald first?
Yeah,
I've
seen her bald first. But
I think that's what you're used to.
Yeah, but even then, how can I say this? Who do I see with hair first?
Like if people saw me bald, they'd be confused for a minute.
Yeah,
I'm not used to it.
Where your dress go? I'd be like, damn, where your dress go? But when Tiffany Haddish went bald, I thought it looked good on her. And even then, Chris Rock's the same guy that did good hair, so I'm pretty sure he would appreciate something like that. Like that documentary started the natural hair movement. I don't care what anybody fucking says.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
It did. I think it did. Yeah.
I was just glad to see Nia Long actually.
Yeah, Nia Long has short hair. Pixie cut is hers is more of a pixie cut than a baldy, but
it's still short.
It's still short, and like I think I prefer her hair short than long. Love it.
Nah, I think Bob Nia Long is the best. Me personally.
You think Bob Nia Long?
Yeah.
What about Kelly Rowland?
Oh my God! No, I love long hair Kelly Rowland. I love Bob
hair. I do too.
I love
but long hair Kelly Rowland, her forehead pop out, and that's what I love.
Shout out to the.
I love my foreheads. That's my shit.
But then I love her pixie cut in Bills. I think it was completely sexy. The pixie cut. Pink. Oh yeah, Pink. People fuck with Pink. Her hair is always fucking short. That's what I was thinking.
She's gone back and forth, but yeah, I've seen her.
I'd rather her hair short than long. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I used to, and I'm gonna be real with you, Clarence. I used to hate the bald short hair look until like 21, until I was like 21, and then I realized, oh shit, you can rock some shit with it.
I don't really hate it, but it's not really my thing. I prefer the pixie cut over bald head.
I think it depends on the person. Like you gotta have the face for that shit.
You gotta have the head for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that too. You have the face and the right like head shape or circumference or whatever for that shit.
Yeah, that's true. You do have to have the right shaped head for that shit. Because if you don't have the right shaped head, then it's
which why I also think Jada Pinkett, Jada
oh,
Pinkett, she has the head for it.
Jada Pinkett's facial sculpture is good. It's real good.
Yeah.
I
I know for a fact I personally couldn't go bald. My head looked like a brick. But anyway,
She doesn't look weird to me at all. I was like, okay.
Let's hope that bald doesn't choose you.
All right.
I mean,
I am so sorry for being late.
hey, if I ever reach that point, dog, where like my shit start falling out, I'm not gonna rock the George Jefferson with the big ass mustache. No, I'm just gonna shave my head.
Okay.
Lord
This one I want to bring up about baldness too.
Go ahead.
Lord
I looked up alopecia. I looked up what alopecia is, and I learned from looking up articles and stuff on health websites that alopecia. That pattern baldness, male, female, doesn't matter. Pattern baldness is also a part of alopecia. It's just like levels to it. There's alopecia where it like takes away your eyebrows and it takes away your body hair and pubic hair and underarm, all the hair on your body pretty much.
Damn.
And then there's alopecia that's more normal, more regular, where it's just like bald spot here, bald spot there, and that's more. And if you look it up, it says also known as for men. They say for men it's male pattern baldness. So alopecia is kind of like just pattern baldness, really. But I mean,
what's it called for women? Bald head, whole shit.
It's called bald head scallywags. Ain't got no hair in the back. But yeah, it's
on instinct alone. Once you hear that, you have to complete that line. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you know how science is. They got a bunch of different names for like different variants and shit. But it's all underneath alopecia though.
All I'm gonna say is,
so when people treat it like it's cancer, it's not fucking cancer. It's not fucking illness. You go on fucking bald. You got the wrong genetics, or you got some type of acceleration in your body that's causing it to bald fast or do some abnormal shit. But it's not fucking cancer and shit like that.
Just catch up with you, and I guess your shit start falling out. Ain't Will and Jada in their 50s?
Oh yeah. A lot of people, including women, get baldness. They get pattern baldness. A lot of them do. I got a coworker that getting pattern baldness. I'm sure she feels some type of way about it, but yeah, a lot of people. I've been on the metro and shit. I see women bald. It's very common. Very common.
Like I said, the only ones that kill me are the motherfuckers who try to cling on to that little bit of hair around the sides and the back of their head, and they got the George.
Oh, like Roland Martin
in the middle.
Let it go.
Let it just go bald.
Cut that shit off. Literally, the only person in history I've ever seen make that shit work is Paul Heyman. Everyone else looks weird to me when they try to do that shit.
What about Sherman Hemsley
and Hulk Hogan?
Or you can invest. You can invest in the treatment.
I'll give you Sherman Hemsley. I'll give you Sherman Hemsley. I'll give you Paul Heyman. Hogan lost me when the NWO started and he dyed part of his beard black to try to match the gear and shit. But anyway,
but it was cool.
But people like to compare it to people are comparing it to cancer and other shit and lost limbs. I was like, niggas go bald all the time. It's not. It hurts. Yeah.
Can I get my opinion on this stupid shit? Oh my god.
Real quick. But like after this question, someone tell me it's like
getting gray hairs in my teens. The fuck?
Because someone tell me if she has something else that triggered the alopecia, like when you go through chemo, you lose your hair too. So, like, is there something else that triggered the alopecia, or is she just losing her hair?
I think she's just losing her hair.
Okay.
The ain't shit side of me wants to say it's karma for the August Alsina thing,
But
that's genetics. That's just genetics. But go ahead, Q. Go ahead, Q.
Okay, I honestly just feel like the whole scenario, it was weird because Will laughed and then he stopped laughing when he saw Jada stop laughing, and he felt like he had to go slap Chris Rock, and then Chris Rock looked like he was going to swing, but he played it off, and he did a very great showing of improv and being able to carry on the show, even though it was like weird. And and then the apology yesterday, that Will gave, and how everything is playing out. Overall, how I feel about it, this shit, Will Smith. Everybody in this podcast knows how I feel about Will Smith.
How do you feel, Lois? I don't know.
Oh no, I love Will Smith.
You love Will Smith?
Yeah, he's the GOAT. He's
the GOAT. Me too. Me too. I like Will Smith too.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing bad about him. No, really. Everybody knows my entire aura is embodied by Will Smith. Yeah. But everything about me is Will Smith. But the one thing I did not appreciate, I felt like, what possessed you to think like for you to be a professional, for this not to be your first Oscar ceremony that you attended, and for you to know that you were nominated, and for a joke that the joke was very mid. If Chris Rock could have said something way worse.
It was mild.
That's what we've been saying this whole time.
I am a Chris Rock fan.
Me too.
I love Chris Rock. I've heard people say
fan of all three of them.
They can't. I've heard people say I can't really watch Chris Rock, and I'm like, well, Chris Rock is more of a political Dave Chappelle type of thing, but we relate to Dave Chappelle because we're all down to earth hippie ass weed smokers who think the same way Dave Chappelle think. But Chris Rock is the person that's going to say the shit that we not really going to say, and he's going to question it. Like he's
but probably needs to be said.
Yeah. His like I told somebody, his stand up is a lesson at the same time. Like it's sort of like his TV show. His TV show, there were a lot of jokes and a lot of funny things, and it was a lot of exaggeration, but in reality there was a lesson behind everything. And that's how his comedy is. So, but in reality, if you know Chris Rock has said terrible shit about worse shit. And he didn't even mention Jada's alopecia problem. He just said G.I. Jane. Now Jada has cut her hair plenty of times before we were aware of her diagnosis of alopecia, and and there's been jokes like that. I just feel like on national TV, you being a professional, you being a person who's been on this stage for years, 30, 40 years, and for you to go up and slap a person who's also been in the business as long as you, who has the same prestige and respect in this business that you have, for you to blatantly walk up there and slap somebody because he does something that he's being paid to do. It's just it was childish. Like, this is something anybody could have went up there and thought of a G.I. Jane joke for fucking Jada Pinkett Smith. Yet they would have looked at her long enough.
Yeah, it was either that or I can't wait to see you in Black Panther 3 or something.
Black Panther 3 or some shit like
some shit like that, right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it was a joke that this man has been stirring up forever. It was a joke he just thought on the fly. And she wanted to cause a scene, and Will fell into the trap, and Will looks like a fucking idiot. The idiot that he is.
I really wouldn't blame Jada per se, honestly, on this one. because we have no real evidence that she coerced him into doing it. She just rolled her eyes. She has a right to roll her eyes if she don't like the joke. She don't like the joke.
Man,
Will did something because he saw her roll her eyes, or he saw that she was uncomfortable, and he decided he wanted to do something. I mean, that's allegedly, because I don't know what happened when the camera got
but
off of him either. She could have said something to him.
I just felt like that whole scenario was just so unprofessional, and
Yeah, it was.
it was out of character. Jada's rolling her eyes on camera, and all of these things. Like, they knew, these people know these things. This is not nothing new. I get what you're saying, but this whole scenario, me watching the Oscars, me seeing Oscars ceremonies years in the past, and these scenarios happening, the people usually play it off
Hmm.
professionally,
Yeah.
understanding that it's a job.
Right. Right.
Any award show that has a host, that the to keep the crowd into the ceremony while things are transitioning. They tell jokes. It's improv. They stand up. They got to think on the fly. They got to keep everybody going, and it
You're absolutely
happens.
right.
It
You're absolutely right,
happens.
though.
This is his job. He's been
And
paid
it
to do this.
and it's tradition for the awards. Every awards they
Every
kind of like
award
joke
does it.
around. Yeah. They,
The BET Awards, Kevin Hart roasts everybody. You
mm-hmm.
know, the ESPY Awards. I remember Peyton Manning went stupid on Kevin Durant.
That was
Like,
funny.
he lit Kevin Durant a new one. Drake did somebody dirty too. Like, it's this is the way of life. This is what John Cena's done it before. This is not nothing new. So
Shit.
for you to be somebody who's been in this profession in different origins and different genres and different situations, and for you to choose now on national TV when you're actually, what disappointed me is that you chose the night that you knew, when you woke up that morning, you knew you were nominated for a Grammy, something we've been waiting for years. Me as a fan, I've been waiting for Will Smith to finally win I mean, not a Grammy or Oscar. I've been waiting for him to win an Oscar my entire life. Like he's my damn dad.
And Samuel too. Samuel won too, but that's
And
overshadowed.
Samuel Jackson won. Those are the two most prestige black actors outside of Denzel Washington. And Denzel Washington had to be a crooked cop to get his. So that
He
shit
You know what?
played
tells
the
you.
shit out of that part though.
I was about to say, say what
He
you
was a
want. I
legend.
still think that's one of his best scenes.
Yeah, that's one. He said no. He is God. He embodied something amazing. So he deserved every bit of that Oscar, just like Will Smith deserved his Oscar, just like Samuel Jackson deserved his Oscar, well past due. But it was just like that. And for that night, the Oscars, it was supposed to be our night. Our two of the most biggest names in black cinema is literally getting two of the biggest awards that the Oscars can fucking give you. One of our greatest comedians ever is hosting the Oscars, and this is what the fuck you do. This is how you embarrass us. You are Will fucking Smith, and instead of being Will Smith, being laughing,
That's how he
you
laughed
crazy
too.
man. That's my boy.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, you really go on stage and slap another man. Now it'd be wrong if Chris Rock would have punched him in his face and they started fighting on national TV. Thank God somebody was professional in this situation.
Yeah, yeah. He like, yeah.
Like
He
that
was rock.
the
He held his shit. He was professional. He was tactical and professional with that shit.
yeah
But he wasn't unshooken. He acted unshooken when he was on stage, but when he went in the background, he was just sitting there staring in space like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, so it's just like at the end of the day, I'm really disappointed. I'm not mad. I still love Will Smith. He's still one of my good. And then it's just like, what did you get out of it, Will? That's how I look at the situation. What did you get out of it?
But it's like I was telling the others. It's like I'm not really mad at Will Smith. I'm disappointed that things went that direction. He felt like he had to go the direction. But my concern is more so the people that are condoning what he did and saying that's the way you should do it. That's my concern. That's my real concern right there.
It's not.
If that's the case, he should have did that to Laverne Cox.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the transsexual comedian that went on them about entanglements and shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You know he ain't gonna do that because you know the Academy, Hollywood really go on his ass. Then they really
hey, slap Lil Boosie. How about that? Lil Boosie spent the whole year talking about how you was weird, on and off camera.
That Marciano.
Well, his family is fucking weird. I ain't gonna front.
I could go down the line and name everybody who said something about Jada Pinkett Smith. And I want Will to just go ahead and get his hands ready.
Put the powder on all this.
He gonna have to run a whole gauntlet.
Yeah, he's gonna just slap everybody.
He's gonna put that Thanos glove on and just start slapping.
He's gonna be like Homer Simpson on that glove slap episode, if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
Not even it's ridiculous, bro.
I'm gonna need him to play Ludacris slap a nigga today, and every time think
about slapping the nigga today.
Slapping that nigga today.
Think about slapping the nigga today.
But I believe from the information I was fed by media, by him, by his book, because I started reading his book before the slap even happened. I started reading his book. Well, not necessarily reading, but I got it on Audible, so while I'm at work, I kind of listen to it. He has a people pleaser problem, and that goes double. And that goes double for his spouse.
Yes, it's because the one time that he felt like he didn't please and he didn't make up for what he was supposed to. He felt like he's in debt with everybody else, all because his mother and sister were abused by their father or whatever.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now he's just like, he feels in his heart that he's forever in debt with everybody, so everybody has to love him because he has that one flaw in his life. It's I understand it, but at the same time, Will, you could have slapped him behind stage, man.
Right. Yeah. You gotta be more tactful with your shit.
Now,
keep your composure.
Even if you felt like
I don't know when he's to do this, but take a day off from being the bigger person today.
I feel like even if you felt he was wrong for what he said, like that
could be debated.
And yeah. I really felt like if he felt some type of way, it wasn't even that big for him to want to slap him.
Right. Not the slap was not worth the joke wasn't worth the slap.
Why didn't he slap August Alsina?
This is where my other theory comes in, which is he is before Red Table Talk, he done built this image of himself as the upstanding citizen that we all love, with the perfect family, with the dynasty of his family. His son was making movies before he started putting skirts on. His daughter had a single whipping her hair back and forth before she went bald. And I'm not making fun of him, but he done had these images, and he just had this plan of how he done mapped everything out. And then ever since the Red Table Talk, it seems like everything is a wrecking ball to his plans. And this is just my opinion, and I know they're in an open relationship, and if I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong. I think Jada enjoys that open relationship and not so much Will.
Yeah.
You're not all wrong. I can tell you why they're in an open relationship, because I know this for a fact.
Okay, go ahead.
I was about to say, can you tell us this one of those rabbit hole things?
I'm sure I brought this up the last time we were talking about the whole entanglement thing. That he's bisexual. And she didn't know at the time, but they do indeed love each other. That's there. This ain't
Wait, are we
that
still
part.
on Will Smith?
As much as
Yes.
as much as I know this shit's all bullshit, I'm just saying this part is not bullshit. They do love each other. This is why they're still together. This is why they have a family. But that is also why they're in an open relationship, because she can't get everything that she needs from him. He has his own urges, but they're gonna stick together. They have a family. They are a family. So now all this bullshit that's going in between, I'm sure whatever dude he's with, he can't bring that out. But she's like, but I need my attention. I need that. She's
Hello.
sorry. Imagine these conversations, but just add what we're hearing these conversations without who he's seeing, because we're not allowed to find out who he's seeing because it ain't no fucking woman. I'll tell you that much. This is why this whole drama is going down. This is why we have these optics of him being the only one not just watching this go down. He ain't watching this go down, and it's not with another woman. Or we know we'd see all the time. We see him alone. When he saw him on his YouTube shit and everything he's posting, he's talking to astronauts and shit. He's alone. That's why he's doing this, and she embraces these things too. That's the other thing. That's why their kids are like this.
So
and this is all Hollywood anyway. Nobody's mad at it.